Hi and welcome to a Memories Made scrapbooking process video. I'm Jen Gallacher. Today we're going to be using an 8.5 by 11 inch piece of cardstock to start our layout today. Now I'm using some of the Flourish collection from Maggie Holmes. I'm starting with this wood grain pattern paper and I'm going to be using this ticket pattern paper later in this video. And I just loved both sides. I'm kind of wishing I had bought both of or rather two pieces of this pattern paper because I do love it so much. For all of the supplies, I will list them below in the description of the video and you can link directly to them and purchase them. This is another paper from the Flourish collection. It's a pink stripe and I'm going to add a little bit of white twine to this. Just wrap it around the bottom here, and I do apologize, I have a little bit of a cold, so voice is a little bit deep today, but I like adding crochet twine to my projects. It adds a little bit of texture. You could use baker's twine or ribbon or whatever texture you have on hand. Wrap it about 4 or 5 times and then tie it in a bow or a knot. And then I just tighten the bow and trim off any excess pieces. We'll add a dot runner adhesive to the back of this strip and we'll overlap on the right. And then I have some washi tape, and this is from, I can't remember if it's from My Mind's Eye or Heidi Swap, but again in the product description I'll try and list out where I got everything. But it's this charming little scallop tape. And I'm going to add it on top of this pink stripe, and I'm not going to continue it down the whole page. Just rip off part of it, and then I can straighten it out. And then I just tape or fold the tape over on the top. All right, on the left side, we're going to do a cluster of different fussy cut pieces. And as I mentioned before, on that ticket pattern paper, I have pre-cut a bunch of the tickets directly from the paper. And I just picked some that I loved, and I just used my paper trimmer because they were square, but you could use your scissors if you prefer. And I just cut a strip down the whole paper, and I just came up with kind of a grid that I wanted to create, and we'll just rebuild the grid here. So I'm just using the paper as the alignment guide for me, and I'm going to run most of the stickers in a vertical or up and down orientation, and I can come back and I'll cut off the extra piece there at the top. I love these tickets, and I think a piece of paper can add so much to a page, even if it's just by fussy cutting some of the elements out rather than just use it as one big background. So you can build the grid however you want. I'm going to overlap some and leave some as is, and just kind of play with it until you get it how you want. And I picked colors, repetitive colors, as you can kind of see. I have a lot of the off-whites, and then I have some pinks as well. And again, I'm just kind of overlapping. And then, like I said, I'll just come back and using the cardstock as a guide, I'll just cut off those excess pieces. And that allows that grid design to kind of go off my page. So I used a die cut for this particular page, and it is a manual die cut. It is from EcoPart paper. It's actually from a Christmas collection. And I've used white cardstock in the back, and I used the exact same white cardstock to die cut these leaves. Now, if you have a silhouette machine, you can do this as well, but I've die cut 3.5. I actually had one that ripped, and I just am going to use one of those pieces as well. Now, before we add that, I did some additional fussy cutting. This is from the exclusive collection of ephemera that Maggie Holmes did with scrapbook.com, and I just cut this little label from the card. This is where my title is going to go. I just wanted to get that placement exactly how I want it. And then I have a sticker from Heidi Swap. I love her handwriting. And the title is Happy. And that label just kind of helps center that title on there. Now, the fussy cutting that I did from another paper is from this Flourish paper. It's called Charming, and it had all these darling little bugs on it. And I went through and fussy cut my favorite butterflies, and I left a little bit of white around those butterflies. Now, I'll just kind of place them here, just kind of get a feel for where I want everything. And then before I place them down, I want to add my leaves. So I kind of loosely place things and then I come back and I add my leaves. I'm going to use a Zig glue pen. I activate it by shaking it up a little bit because I haven't used it in a while. And then I can add glue directly to the back of these leaves. If you find that this doesn't work for you, you can use a dot runner and you can add dot runner adhesive to the back of your die cuts as well. Or you can run it through a Xyron machine if you have one of those. So what this does is it just adds a little bit of texture to the page. So rather than just having the layers be kind of flat, I like to add a little bit of texture, whether it's through raising an element or whether it's through adding texture through like the different leaves I'm using here, or whatever technique you have or whatever product you like to regularly use. This is a good opportunity to just add to your layers. And there's that little piece that was ripped off. So I'm kind of loose in how I attach each piece. I don't worry about if every leaf is sticking. I kind of like that they're not. It leaves them a little bit loose and adds, like I said, some action and texture. So I'm going to add pop dots to the back of these little butterflies. Make them pop off the page a little bit. And I have a pop dot addiction, so I keep these on hand for almost all my projects. And then I just want the butterflies to go in different directions on my page, so the eye doesn't get bored with this design. You can also see that it's kind of creating this visual triangle here. Now I have some Flair badges. This is from a travel collection, and I just loved the look of these, and these add a new color to the design that I have going on here, plus a new texture. So just add these around, and then we'll add some additional pop dots. I have some in pink. These are from Echo Park. You can use whatever color you want, but I'm going to use the pink ones today. And I'm kind of trying to fill in the design just with some additional texture. If you have Nuvo drops, you could use those as well. Pretty much whatever floats your boat. Now on top of the butterflies, I have these little stickers. These are from Simple Stories. This is from the Reset Girl collection. It's an older collection. And I'm going to add them to my butterflies. And I like building my layers up quite a bit. And I've pre-cut these so that I just trim them right from the sticker backing, so that I could easily just place them down for the video. But they do come on an entire strip, so you can pick the different phrases that you want. I'm going to trim this one a little bit. And I trim my stickers if I feel like they're too long or they don't quite fit. Now for the photo for this particular layout, I actually printed two of the same, and I'm going to overlap them. And I may need to move these enamel dots, which is fine. I find if I hurry and move them, they move pretty easily. Let's add some adhesive to the back of these two photos. And the reason why I'm using two of the same photo is because I loved this photo and I wanted to make sure that it got attention. And so I doubled up on it. And then the other one, I'm sometimes it's easier to get the placement perfect like that and then come back in. Try and get the alignment perfect. I'll move this butterfly just a little bit so it's not covering my face all the way. All right, for the journaling, I have pre-printed some journaling strips here, and it talks about my son and his ability to know when I need to be told I love you and when I need a hug. He just has this gift of knowing what I need. So I wanted to journal that. As part of my Make It Meaningful movement, I want to make sure that my scrapbooking layouts often have a message of love or encouragement to the people I'm writing about, whether it's myself or a child or my husband. So one way to make things meaningful is to make sure that you not just journal about the event, but that you journal about how you feel about that person. Just rub off these extra little dots. I'll just stick the rest of the journaling down there. So there's a layout that talks about how my son makes me happy and how you can use fussy cutting to stretch your paper bits a little bit. So if you like this video, be sure to take a moment to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I am offering new videos every week. If you'd like additional inspiration, be sure to hop over to jengallacher.com.